This whole time I've been muted. What a rookie mistake. What a rookie mistake. But you know what? I didn't really say it too much. So let me just run it back. You know what I'm saying? Let's run it back. We got it. The damn button was muted because, it's afternoon. I'm not used to the Thursday afternoons, Wednesday afternoons. Look at me. I'm all over the place. But anyways, let me get right back to it so I can kind of give you the guys' goods. Really, I thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. But here's the deal, folks. Let me get right into what I was saying. We got ourselves a battle. We had ourselves a battle. It was a 3-man race until one of them was kind of, put to the side as a developmental piece. And here we are. Somebody's like, yo, no video. You playing with me. Now we've got a situation where we have a 2-man race with Terrell Bernard and Mr. Tyrell Dotson. Here's what you get out of Tyrell Dotson, right? You get your thumper of a linebacker. You've got a depth piece. You've got a guy that has experience, but that's not what they were looking for. And it really showed in that Pittsburgh game. Sometimes what ends up doing you in is what you know what I'm saying, not the lack of things you do, is what you actually put on film and what just you weren't able to, I guess, be on par with what they were looking for. That's exactly what happened. And he showed enough in that game where they're like, you're not the answer. And it's unfortunate because you want these guys to succeed. You want these guys to, pan out. But at the end of the day, this is a business. And we are not in the business of trying to put, guys that just can't keep up and fill the shoes of Tremaine Edmonds. In comes Tyrell Bernard, Mr. Bernard. Here's the deal. Here's what you get out of Terrell Bernard. And here's the crazy part. He didn't do a damn thing in preseason because he was hurt. So it actually panned out for him where I didn't have to do a damn thing. Tyrell Dotson kind of shot himself in the foot with his lack of ability, lack of play. So by default, Terrell Bernard gets a spot. Now, is he going to be good enough? I think he will, right? We got no choice, really, until Kirksey is ready to roll. So until then, we have an instinctual linebacker, undersized, yes, but his counterpart is undersized as well. Matt Milano's not a big boy. He came out of college as a safety / linebacker. He officially made the transition to linebacker, and he's yoked up now. But at the time, he was not your typical prototypical linebacker size. So you're going to have 2 instinctual linebackers on the field that just know where to be, know how to read defenses. And guess what? You drafted this brother in the 3rd round. You better use this brother from the 3rd round. You're not going to sit here and have a 3rd rounder be shipped off like you did Zach Moss. You're not going to have another 3rd rounder move on to another team without having to, really get all the potential out of him, which we did. Devin Singletary was solid. Don't get me wrong. And then obviously you have a right tackle that you drafted in the 3rd round that we still trying to figure things out with. So we can't just let this guy just sit on ice. You got to use this brother. You got to. So this is Terrell Bernard's opportunity because you know who is chilling on the practice squad for now. He's chilling on the practice squad for now until he can get all his act together and get things going and get things popping. Now, here's the thing. What happens with Tyrell Dotson, though? Let's keep it a buck. I don't know. Like, how does that work? You went from penciled in as a starter to now you've been leaped over by Terrell Bernard. You're now in the backup role, and they just signed a 2-year starter, a captain at that, a former captain of the Houston Texans, and Christian Kirksey. And here we are. What happens to Bernard? What happens to Tyrell Dotson? Do they demote him to the practice squad from being a potential starter? You already have, Tyler Matakevich on special teams. So maybe he just becomes a depth piece and that's that. Period. That's weird. And you got you already have Taylor Rapp that's going to be getting linebacker reps. It's an odd situation to be in for Mr. Tyrell Dotson. We'll see how that plays out. Here's the deal. They signed him. So he's on the squad unless they're ready to take some dead money. And I don't know what the dead money would be if they would just say, you know what, it's been cool. I'm gonna let you find a team quick. But I mean, we also need the depth, and maybe he'll be a solid contributor on special teams. But Terrell Bernard, on the other hand, gives you flexibility, and I think this is the type of defense that McDermott wants run. He wants to be able to move you around, put you in coverage. You think we're coming with the blitz, and you think you got all linebackers, and all of a sudden you have a guy that can move pretty fluidly and get in coverage and make some plays back there. This defense is going to be very interesting, by the way. This defense is going to be mad interesting. I'm looking forward to it. So, linebacker position is now in the sole possession of Terrell Bernard. He is your week one starter. And I say week one starter because things change. You know McDermott. McDermott ain't gonna just keep things the same. He's gonna move things around if he has to. So for now, Bernard's your guy. Balin Spector is in the depth. He's in the depth position. Obviously, Dotson's gonna be in depth position. Kirksey eventually will move his way up. But can you go from being a penciled in starter to practice squad? I mean, it's possible. It's happened. It is what it is. So, congratulations to Mr. Terrell Bernard. You got the spot. Now you got to show it, man. I hope you're nice and healthy. Hamstrings are good. You know what I'm saying? The glutes are good. And you're ready to get in there alongside your boys. Now, let me take a little pause break here. And sad news to announce. Former Bills receiver Mike Williams sadly passed in a construction accident. And it's unfortunate these things happen because they do. And that's why safety. I mean, I in the line of work that I'm at, it's all about safety, 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 safety. They talk about it 24/7 because of things like this that can happen. I don't know the details. All we know is that something happened on the construction site, and Williams passed due to his injuries, which is extremely sad. But RIP Mike, man. I like the addition of Mike when we brought him to the Bills from the Tampa Bay Bucks. I honestly thought that he was going to be great, man. Coming from Syracuse, he was going to be, you know what I mean? He was going to be that dude that, you know what I mean, that homegrown-ish type of player. And coach wasn't really about it. Coach brought him on. You know what I'm saying? Coach brought him on, and coach was like, "Nah, we good. We ain't gonna bring you back." I just don't get it. I never got that move. But RIP, man. 36 years of age, bro. That's young, bro. That's young, man. But for those that do work in these high stress, you know what I'm saying, big time machinery, where one little slip, one little mistake could be detrimental in terms of injury and potentially death. Yo, be careful out there, folks. You got to be careful, man. Shout out to the family of Mike, and it's tough, man. I think he did have children, so man, that's tough. That is tough. Damn, steel beam. If that's what it is, I'm gonna tell you, man. Unfortunately, I know someone that passed on a site, worked out west on the rigs, and things were moving, and something fell on top of this young man, and obviously he perished. But golly, man, like not a good way to go. Like it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and gone too soon, man. Really gone too soon. But let me pick things up a little bit. Let me just pick things up a little bit. Hold on a second. I got Prince Augie here that had a comment here. He says, Mike Will was a friend of mine, great dude and father. He will be missed, man. Yeah, he will be missed, man. I liked when we brought him to the Bills, and it's a shame, man. Sorry about that, Prince Augie, bro. And I'm sure everybody's devastated by this news, man. It's not fun. It's not fun. You're not. You go to work thinking you're gonna come back, and this is what happens. And you, and this is a moment for me too, because like I'm a supervisor where I'm at, and I have employees underneath me that I've got to constantly make sure that we're doing things by the book and safe and et cetera, et cetera. And this rings home because now I get to, you know what I mean, relay that message. Although different industry, safety all the same. So tough day for Bills fans, Syracuse fans, Tampa fans, and those that knew him. Sad, very sad, man. So try to bring light, you know what I'm saying, to this situation and bring it back to Bills talk. We've got another starter. Now, this one's not much of a surprise, folks. We saw this coming. I mean, we got talent on the line, and the battle really was between Ryan Bates and Osiris Torrance. And according to Coach McDermott, it wasn't really about what Ryan Bates didn't do. It was more about what Osiris Torrance showed that he can do, right? And it wasn't you, Ryan Bates. You did bad. You weren't this. You weren't. And I hate to put it this way. You weren't Tyrell Dodson, where Tyrell Dodson showed some challenges that he faced in that Pittsburgh game. So you didn't have that case with Ryan Bates. Ryan Bates just did what he was supposed to do, but Osiris Torrance just showed more. Osiris Torrance showed that he could handle everything that was thrown his way. And I think he's going to be a solid contributor to this offense and is going to aid quarterback Josh Allen huge. It's going to aid the run game massive. It's going to aid Spencer Brown. It's going to aid Mitch Morse. It just makes the line better. So Osiris Torrance falling out of the first round and into our lap, shoot, we'll take that. We'll take that. And we got to just continue to fortify this line. Maybe next year, I mean, we pluck somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a right tackle falls our way, unless Spencer Brown comes in and starts handling his business. But we will see. But what a great decision by Coach McDermott. I guess we can put to bed this whole notion of he don't play no rookies. That got put to bed, because right now you got my man Osiris Torrance jumping in there, handling business. You got my man Dalton Kincaid that's going to get in there and get work. Although maybe not a starter, but he's going to get considerable time on that field, and we all know that. And you know what I mean? Dorian Williams might get a lot of time. You just never know. We got to see how this plays out. But this whole notion of not playing the young guys, maybe he's past that, because it used to be that way a little bit. It used to be that way a little bit. He wanted, you know what I mean, his veteran guys to get that opportunity, which I totally get. But when the guy can play, can flat out play, you can't deny it. You got to put your best players on the field, and that's exactly what McDermott's doing. Osiris Torrance, congratulations, you got yourself a spot. Let's roll. Now let's move on to the more interesting, I guess, position battle that was decided today. And this position battle was a much tougher one. Dane Jackson, 7th round draft pick out of Pitt. You got Christian Benford, and you got Kyer Elam, former first rounder. You would think Kyer Elam would have been primed to take cornerback number 2, primed, right? Going to his second year, another year in the system. Let's roll. Certainly not the case in this situation. Dane Jackson was getting most of the reps at cornerback 2. And then in comes Christian Benford. And I'll tell you this right now, man. Shout out to my man, Carl Jones. Carl Jones came in and says, man, there's something about these late round draft picks that got a chip on their shoulder. Especially if this brother's from Baltimore, he's got a boulder on his shoulder. And he had something to prove. I don't care where y'all draft me. I'm ready to roll. And he's done. Coach McDermott announced today that Christian Benford has earned cornerback 2 spot. Are we shocked? No, we're not. Especially because we knew that Kyer Elam was, I don't want to say struggling per se, but Kyer Elam wasn't separating enough. So now you're like, okay, so clearly it's not a Kyer Elam, Dane Jackson, Christian Benford race. It's really a Dane Jackson and Christian Benford. And like my man Pierre the King Pig said, Christian was like, fam, love everything about you guys. You're a late round draft pick like me. Kyer, your first round draft pick. I get it. You got your bag. I got to get mines now. Move over, Dane. Move over, Kyer. I'm going to show y'all what a real dog looks like. That's exactly what Christian Benford said. Something about a confident corner can get you a long way. And that's exactly what Christian Benford presented. He presented himself confidently. He can play the zone position very well. He's improved in his man-to-man skills this offseason. And that's what got him the job. Now he will be alongside Trey White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. Does this make you feel comfortable with this defense? Are you happy with this cornerback room? Dane Jackson is no scrub. Let's keep it funky here. Dane Jackson ain't no scrub. Kyer is not a scrub. Sometimes some folks take a little longer to develop. But right now, Christian Benford is like, I'm not waiting. I got right now. I'm not waiting for the future. I'm not the I am the now. I am the present. I want in right this second. And he showed out and he earned that spot. Now, here's my theory in all of this. I think Coach McDermott is a very fluid coach. He goes by, who's hot, who's not. And for now, Christian Benford has the number two spot. He does. But it would not surprise me. Like I said in yesterday's show, it would not surprise me if, this game, it might be Christian Benford. Next game, it might be Dane Jackson. The game after that, in terms of matchups, it might be Kyer Elam, because Kyer Elam presents a better matchup with maybe Devontae Adams. Maybe he presents a better matchup with Terry McLaurin when we play Terry McLaurin and them boys, right? Maybe it's going to be him and Christian Kirk. You just never know. So for now, Christian Benford got the spot, and well-deserved. But I say it's penciled in because I'm going to keep that same energy, because I thought Dane Jackson by default would have been the spot, but I think that was going to be fluid. But if Benford, at his 6'2" frame, can hold up, he's got the size to play the game, he's got the physicality to play the game, and we play majority of our snaps is in zone coverage, and that's what he does best. And the man can play man-to-man as well. So if you can put that package together, there may not be a spot for Dane Jackson to try to sneak in. It all depends on how Benford holds it down. And you gotta give a shout out to that brother, man. You gotta give a shout out to that, man. Hold on, did I say he's 6'2"? Maybe he might be not. Maybe not be 6'2". I think he may be 6 feet. Let me double check here. If somebody can get it before I do, I'm about to check on my phone here. Christian Benford, how tall is Christian Benford, huh? Christian Benford height. So he's a meter 85. What does a meter 85 translate into? He's 6'1". 6'1", 205. Still good size, bro. Still good size, baby. So shout out to Christian Benford, but a bigger shout out to Coach McDermott. And you might be saying, like, oh, hold on, why are we giving Coach McDermott a shout out? No, I'm giving Coach McDermott a shout out to say he's not looking at, I got a first round draft pick, so I got to force him onto the field. And he's like, nah, the best player will play. And that's always what we ask for as a fan base. Don't care about this, that, and the third. Obviously, you want the guy that you drafted in the first round to play. I'm sure that's exactly what he wanted. The goal is to get your first rounder to get on the field and play. But after 2 years of figuring out what I got with you, it's clear that Benford is the best situated corner for this team right now. And going into the game against the damn Jets, maybe this might be the best fit. Maybe this is a Christian Benford game. And maybe next game is Dane Jackson. Who knows? But for now, big shout out to Christian Benford. Love it. Love it. You got to give him love, man. You got to give him love. So now what's it mean for Kyer Elam? I know most people are like, well, he's just going to be like a third. He's going to be the fourth corner. So when we need him, he'll be there as a serviceable depth piece. It's an expensive depth piece with a first rounder, but that's just what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. He's got to work his way and try to move up. And at the end of the day, this is a business, man. This is a business, man. And Dane Jackson ain't trying to give that up either. He's chomping at the bit to try to get back on that field, which he will. But right now, Kyer Elam, a former first rounder out of Florida, You got to chill until your time comes. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if people see this and be like, they got this guy as the fourth corner. Yo, let me knock on that door, on Buffalo's door, and be like, yo, what's y'all trying to trade him? What's going on? We're looking for a corner over here. What can we get? It wouldn't surprise me if Brandon Beane was like, I'm listening, because he always listens. Question is, what trade value would Elam have? And I'm not saying trade Elam. I'm saying this is the NFL, and we're always constantly watching what people are doing. Somebody might have had a nice second-round draft grade on Kaiir Elam, and they think that he'd fit perfectly with their defense. Maybe it's Bill Belichick. You just never know these days. What do you get for an Elam? Young, great size, great speed. He's got everything you look for in a corner. Just hasn't put it together yet. Maybe this is not the system for him. Maybe he needs to be in a man-to-man, you know what I'm saying, cover zero, cover one type of defense. Like, that's what we do. Maybe that's where his skill set will work out best. Second rounder? Nobody would dare give a second rounder for him, right? I think the highest we'll probably get is what, a third? If we hold tight and say, no, we're trying to hold on to him. No, I'll give you a third. Hook me up, because he'd be an instant starter for my team. You just never know these days. Keep an eye on that. But at least at this moment, we got two solid backups. So if Trey White were to go down, Brentford goes down, we're not really scrambling. We'll be all right. And that's the great thing in this situation. And let's keep it a buck here. If not for Christian Benford breaking his arm last year, you're probably looking at a second-year starter. We're not even talking about this. We're probably not even you know what I'm saying? We're not even looking at corner. Namdi just said something that just triggered me, trying to piss me off. He goes, Elam to the Jets could be a problem. I mean, you'd have two handsy corners. That's what you get. Sauce Gardner is just be holding cats, and they just, you know what I mean? They're not cutting it. Now, he's great. Don't get me wrong. He's solid. But you just have two handsy cats. You know what I mean? So flags will be jumping all over the place. Shout out to my man P Money. What up, P? Yo, his highest value is right now. Elam has been good when on film. Might get lucky and get a second or third, all depending who's calling. I mean, look at the Cardinals. The Cardinals just what? I think they just gave Budda Baker a nice contract. They're clearly potentially going to be starting all over. You got Gannon or Gagnon, whatever you want to call him, was the former defensive coordinator for the Eagles, and the Eagles had a damn pretty good defense. Maybe he wants to start off with young corners, young cats. He goes to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals have done business with the Bills before. Cody Ford got sent over there, didn't he? So maybe we say, yo, let's talk. What you got? You know what I'm saying? So you never know. You just never know. But I like where Elam is right now. And I like that we have depth. And I like that we have someone that we can interchange. So if we are getting our butts kicked by, you know what I'm saying, by the Bengals in week 9, and we need someone to get on Jamar Chase, or we need someone to get on T. Higgins because it's a matchup, in comes Kaiir Elam. So you got to think of those things at the end. It's not just about, you know what I mean? We got corner 1 and corner 2, which is cool, but it's all about having matchup problems, creating matchups. And teams offensively always look to create a matchup problem. That's what the Bills are going to do. You put us in 12 personnel, all of a sudden they try to stack the box, and all of a sudden we're like, I don't like it. Kincaid, get out of there. You know what I'm saying? And then we got James Cook, get out of there. Now we have 5 wide. Now what y'all going to do? Empty backfield. So now it changes everything. Everybody's scrambling on defense. Mismatches. We'll see. Anyway, I just wanted to jump on here real quick, folks, and share the news with y'all. And right before I get out of here, let me get to my super chats. I got my super chats in here, and I appreciate y'all coming. I started off the show hot mess. I'm all yapping away on this thing, and the mic's not even on. I just pulled a Rev. Salute to my guy Rev, man. That's my guy. Scott Easter was like, "Yo, I'm trying to help you, brother. Help me." You know what I'm saying? I was crying for help, and I didn't even know it. And these guys came through and said, yo, you know what? We can't hear you, man. Turn the mic on, bro. Turn the mic on. No sound. Joshua Richardson trying to help me out. He said, no sound, brother. And then I got my act together. I was talking to myself for 5 minutes. God leave, man. And if I didn't know any better and look at the chat, I would have been a hot mess, which I was. Appreciate y'all, man. But that's it for me, guys. Listen, new starters in town, heading into week 1 against the freaking Jets. It's going to be a good time, baby. It's going to be a good time. What bets are we taking? Are we making any bets? So I heard this outrageous line right now. And if you guys got money to burn and money to spend and you want money to make, you better jump on this right now. Allegedly, and I haven't looked. I heard on satellite radio. They got James Cook for touchdowns this year. I don't know if it was just all touchdowns or rushing touchdowns. Let's just call it rushing touchdowns. I think it was just touchdowns. 3.5 touchdowns. 3.5 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? Nah, y'all tripping, man. If they think that this brother's going to have only less than 3.5 touchdowns, nah, you bugging. You're bugging right now. So if that line is still there, jump on that ASAP. Whether they say it's a rushing touchdown or whether they say it's touchdowns in total, regardless, rushing touchdown, take the over. Smash the over. Smash the over. And that was for the year, folks, not just for the first game, for the year. What? Let me just look that up just to be sure. Because that to me, that is insane. That's insane. I listen, satellite radio, man, it wasn't me. Y'all better smash that over ASAP. Let me just type that in real quick, man. James Cook touchdowns. Touchdown prop. Was prop bet? Is that what they call it? Let me see what the line is. James Cook odds. So I open it up right now. Let me see if they have it there. It's not showing. Yeah, it's not showing. It is not showing. But I heard that. So the minute I heard that, I was like, nah, these guys are tripping, man. That can't be. They're not going to do James Cook like that. So if you see it before I do, y'all better smash that over ASAP. Smash that over ASAP. By the way, Tom Jem, your uncle ranting about James Cook, hilarious. That should have me dying, bro. Because I think we all thought it. When he fumbled that first carry of his career and he fumbled it, we're like, man, especially me, I was like, and this is the guy we drafted in the second round? Thank goodness that is not what I've seen lately. Thank goodness that's what I've seen thus far. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely cleaned up his game, cleaned up his act, and he's ready to have a big year in year 2. So we'll see how that plays out. We love it. I need to see this James Cook odds for touchdowns this year, man. James Cook touchdown odds for the full year. Let me see what they got. Okay, James Cook prop odds. Let me see what we got here. Because I tell you, I'm not crazy, man. I saw that. So, no thanks. Let me see. They got rushing yards over under. I think this is just for the game against this is just for the Jets game. That's too bad. They don't have it for the year. Oh, golly, man. If that's the case, bro, y'all know what to do, man. Jump all over that. Jump all over it. Anyway, folks, that's my time. I got to get to bed. I told my wife that I was going to come down here for a half hour and I'm going to get out of here. And she's like, what are you doing? I was like, don't worry about it. Because she's like, what, you're going podcasting again? Stop it. The season has started. I already told you. We get in the mode right now. We get into football mode right now. All right? I don't want to hear nothing. I'm going to do all my daddy duties that I got to do, and I'm going to do all that stuff. Will I be stretched thin? Yes, I will. But I'm going to do my thing. And don't get in my way, lady. That's what's up. Anyway, folks, that's it for me, man. Let me take a couple more questions, and I'm going to get out of here real quick. Mike Knight says, why can't Sean McDermott develop any defensive players? Why can't he develop any defensive players? I mean, you can see it. That's happening right now. With obviously, what do you mean not developing defensive players? Look at Matt Milano. Milano is a byproduct of developmental. late round draft pick, 5th round, and he's an all pro right there. Christian Benford is about to show that he can maybe sustain and do what he's done. I mean, it's early still, but you got those two players. You got Greg Rousseau that's going to turn into a stud. So these guys are developing. These guys are doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, I don't know what else you want. What else are you trying to see, brother? What else are you trying to see? You tell me. I'm trying to think of who else that has developed very well under McDermott. I mean, look at Teron Johnson's doing well. Teron Johnson's got his second contract. Look at the guys that got their contracts though, right? So we'll see how we'll see. So let me see. Did anybody see it? Cook over 3.5 touchdowns the whole year, 100 plus. There you go. I'm not lying, man. They think that this brother is you better take that over, man. Take that over ASAP. ASAP, 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 ASAP. Don't walk to the place. You better run to the place and put your money on that. Real talk. My man Rev says, yo, Milano's developed, Trey White's developed. I mean, he's on his second contract. You got Johnson, Ed Oliver. We're still seeing more. I'm not gonna give Oliver just yet. I need to see more at Ed Oliver, especially he's a top 10 pick. You already know what it is. And Groot is gonna be a stud. He's gonna be a stud. He's gonna develop into a baller. So, we'll soon then see. I mean, Dane Jackson's playing all right too. He just got beat out by another late round draft pick. I'll tell you this, man. Brandon Beane may have some misses in the top. You mean in the top tier picks? You know what I mean? I mean, he's missed on Kyrie Elam for now. Ed Oliver, questionable still. We're still trying to figure things out with that. I mean, second round draft pick AJ Epinesa still on the squad. We'll see how he plays out. So there's still some things that are formulating, but late round draft picks, you can't even hate. Late round draft pick, he does well to the point where you got to give him credit for this. Even some of the draft picks that he's taken have been signed away. The 2 players that we drafted late round, Broker and Austin, gone, signed on rosters. You're able to trade Boogie Basham. Now, whether you guys want to call that a victory or a loss, I take that as an L personally. I mean, you got rid of a second round draft pick. It could have been Creed Humphreys, but I ain't going to go there. I don't want to go there. So get on your bets, folks. If it's still there, jump on it. Jump on it. I got a question coming from my man Namdi. What up, Namdi? What's happening, brother? He goes, what do you think of Kirksey over Bernard at the middle linebacker soon? All depending on Terrell Bernard and how he does, how he handles the pressure, how he handles being maybe the guy that has the green dot. I wonder if he's the green dot now. Is he the one that's going to be calling plays? So that's a level of responsibility that McDermott has put on to Terrell Bernard potentially if he's green dot. Or is that Milano that's going to be green dot calling plays? We'll soon find out. Because if you're going to be the middle linebacker, you better be a leader. You better be a guy talking. You better be a guy that's, you know what I'm saying, that knows how to get these guys going. Kirksey already knows how to do that. He's got the experience. He's 10 years deep into this game. So he's just learning the defense. You let that brother learn the defense, and if Bernard is not where we need him to be, you could easily bring out Christian Kirksey. Even if you bring him up and then move somebody down or whatever they decide to do with Dotson, or maybe it's Balin Spector that's sat down. I mean, he's on IR right now, but like maybe it's Matakevich. Who knows how they're going to play this out? We'll soon find out. But that situation happening anytime soon, not yet. It's too soon. He's got to learn this. You got to learn so much in so little time. But these guys are professionals. Once you know one scheme, you know a lot of schemes. And it's just about verbiage and what you're doing at the end of the day. That's why some of these guys can come in and assimilate right off the bat. We'll soon see. We'll soon see. Let me see if I got a couple more questions, and I'm gonna dip out of here because I gotta get some shut eye. I don't know what I was thinking yesterday, but coming back from vacation for a long time, I usually try to take like 2-3 hours snooze before I go into night shift. And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna sleep. So I'm on 24 plus hours of no sleep. What am I doing? And I had to get up for the kids because it was our first day of school today. So your boy had to show out and bring the kids. I was like, I'm out. I gotta do these things for the kids. So now I'm gonna go crash out. So that's it, folks. Listen, get ready for this, man. Because in the words of Deion Sanders, we coming. We coming now. Where we do it, I'll leave that up to your imagination. but we coming. And I hope we do with a smile on our face. And that's where I bow out and let you guys do what you want with that information. But that's it for me, folks. You guys have yourself a great day. We will catch you guys on the flip side. It's your boy Rico. We got brand new starters on. The defense changes. Christian Benford, cornerback 2. Terrell Bernard, MLB. And Osiris Torrance, right guard. Did McDermott make the right decision? Heck yeah, he did. So let's watch out. Let's pay attention to these Buffalo Bills coming up week 1 against the Jets. I'll see you guys again on Friday, and let's do this damn thing. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Until next time, it's your boy Rico. And I'm gone. We'll see you. Peace.